The story of Rahab unfolds with an intriguing enigma. How did a woman living in the heart of a Canaanite city become a pivotal figure in the Israelite conquest of Canaan? Rahab, a resident of Jericho, played a crucial role in one of the most dramatic episodes in biblical history. Her actions not only altered the fate of a city, but also cemented her place in the lineage of faith. At first glance, Rahab is introduced as a woman of questionable profession. The Hebrew term isha zona, often translated as prostitute, shrouds her identity in a paradox. Was she merely an innkeeper, as some rabbinic texts suggest, or did her life straddle the line between innkeeping and prostitution, a practice that was, in some contexts, interwoven with hospitality in that era? The duality of Rahab's profession invites us to consider the socio-economic realities of ancient Near Eastern societies. In many cases, women who ran inns also offered sexual services, as this was often one of the few means for women to secure financial independence or support a household. This complexity adds layers to Rahab's character, revealing a woman who, regardless of societal boundaries, navigated her world with intelligence and resilience. It's worth noting that in ancient Canaanite society, where patriarchal norms were predominant, such occupations might have been among the few avenues available for women to exert agency and influence, albeit within a constrained context. In the book of Joshua, Rahab is initially described as a linen maker living within the walls of Jericho. This city, fortified with formidable defenses, was the first target for the Israelites under Joshua's leadership as they embarked on their conquest of Canaan. The significance of Jericho in the ancient world cannot be overstated. Its location near the Jordan River made it a strategic military target and a symbol of the Canaanite resistance against the incoming Israelites. Archaeologists have long studied Jericho's ruins, uncovering evidence of its vast walls which highlight the challenge it posed to invading forces. As the Israelites encamped at Shittim, Joshua dispatched 2 spies on a covert mission to assess the military strength of Jericho. They found refuge in Rahab's house, a choice that would have seemed strategic given its location within the city wall, providing both access and concealment. Her residence within the walls speaks volumes about the practicalities of espionage in antiquity, where strategic positioning could determine the success or failure of reconnaissance missions. The spies' mission echoes earlier biblical narratives, such as the sending of spies into Canaan during Moses' leadership, underlining the continuity of divine-led strategic initiatives. The narrative takes a daring turn when Rahab chooses to hide these spies, defying the king of Jericho's orders to surrender them. She conceals the men beneath bundles of flax on her roof, a move that speaks not only to her cunning but also to the seasonal context, as the barley harvest coincides with the ripening of flax in the Jordan Valley. The use of flax, a critical commodity for producing linen, highlights Rahab's involvement in the local economy and her understanding of the agricultural timing that allowed her to use the flax creatively for concealment. Her quick thinking and resourcefulness in utilizing everyday materials for espionage purposes illustrate her adaptability and intelligence. By aiding the spies, Rahab defied her own people and risked her life, driven by a remarkable conviction about the God of Israel. She declared to the spies, "I know that the Lord has given you the land, and that a great fear of you has fallen on us, so that all who live in this country are melting in fear because of you." Her testimony signifies not just a personal confession of faith, but also reflects a broader fear engulfing Jericho, a city aware of the Israelites' miraculous crossing of the Red Sea and their victories over Amorite kings. This confession serves as both a prophetic acknowledgement of Israel's divine favor and a psychological insight into the state of mind among the Canaanites at that time. Rahab's plea for her family's protection in exchange for her loyalty stands as a testament to her foresight and faith. She negotiated a pact with the spies, a promise of safety for her and her family, marked by a crimson cord hung from her window. This red cord would become a symbol, perhaps akin to the scarlet thread of salvation, setting her household apart when the city walls crumbled and Jericho fell. This gesture echoes the Passover story, where the Israelites marked their doors with blood for protection, drawing a parallel between faith and divine deliverance. The red cord also symbolically underscores themes of redemption and protection pervasive throughout biblical literature. Rahab's story transcends her immediate actions, becoming a powerful symbol of transformation and faith. In his writings, the historian Josephus later highlighted Rahab's role as an innkeeper, though he remained silent on the nature of her full profession. This dual identity, balancing hospitality and waywardness, serves to illustrate a profound transformation enabled by faith. Rabbinic literature and scholars like William L. Lyons have come to view Rahab as a model of virtues such as hospitality, mercy, and repentance, elevating her from her perceived past to a paragon of faithfulness. Rahab's courage in hiding the spies is a key element of her legacy. Her actions were not simply an act of rebellion against her city, but a declaration of allegiance to a new faith and destiny. Such stories form an essential part of the biblical narrative, where individuals from outside Israel become agents in God's unfolding plan. Rahab's inclusion in these narratives challenges readers to perceive faith's universal accessibility, breaking cultural and societal barriers. Her courage is reminiscent of other biblical women who played key roles in God's plans, like Esther and Deborah, further highlighting the active participation of women in the divine narrative. In the conquest of Jericho, an event marked by divine intervention and strategic warfare, Rahab's role was not merely that of a passive informant, but rather an active participant in God's plan. Her actions exemplified a remarkable act of allegiance to Israel and its God over her native land and people. Biblical narratives often employ etiology to explain origins and meanings, and Rahab's inclusion among the Israelites offers a theological reflection on the transformative power of faith. Her act of hiding the spies is not only a literal hiding, but a figurative embrace of a new identity, an embrace that ultimately allowed her to become part of the Israelite community. Beyond the walls of Jericho, Rahab's legacy unfolds to inspire generations. In the New Testament, her faith is lauded in the Epistle of James and the Epistle to the Hebrews, where she is mentioned among the cloud of witnesses who acted out of faith. Her name, rendered as Rahab in some Greek translations, but Rahab in others, signifies the cultural and linguistic nuances that accompany biblical interpretation. Yet regardless of translation differences, her essence shines through as one who was considered righteous due to her deeds. The echoes of her story in these texts emphasize the continuity and reverberation of her faith across time. Rahab's inclusion in the genealogy of Jesus, as recorded in the Gospel of Matthew, is particularly profound. Her presence in this lineage highlights the inclusive scope of Jesus' ministry and the redemptive potential extended to all, irrespective of background or past sins. This narrative choice by the Gospel writer emphasizes that transformation brought about by faith aligns with the core message of redemption that Jesus preached. It demonstrates that even those from outside the traditional boundaries of Israelite identity can become integral parts of God's plan. Rahab's journey did not conclude with Jericho's fall. Her story continues, woven into the fabric of Israel's history and lineage. According to some rabbinic traditions, Rahab was taken as a beautiful captive woman, aligning with the customs of ancient warfare where captives were often absorbed into the conquering community. This integration implies her acceptance and eventual inclusion among the Israelites. Such traditions not only humanize Rahab, but also provide insights into the treatment of foreign captives and the potential for assimilation into Israelite society. Her transition from outsider to insider illustrates the permeable boundaries within Israel's identity in the biblical narrative. Rahab's narrative serves as a precursor to the broader theme of the Gentiles being grafted into the covenant community, a theme that resonates throughout the biblical narrative. Her faith and actions positioned her not only as an ally of Israel, but also as an instrument through which God's purposes were realized in a foreign land. Rahab stands as a testament to the belief that faith is not confined by origins or past transgressions, but is a transformative force capable of redefining identity and destiny. Rahab is also celebrated for her courage and strategic foresight, qualities that shine through in her interaction with the spies. Tikva Frymer-Kensky describes her as smart, proactive, tricky, and unafraid to disobey and deceive her king. Rahab's story, therefore, becomes a compelling narrative of a woman who, driven by her convictions, rose above her circumstances to secure a legacy that transcends her era. Her strategic acumen and moral bravery underscore a narrative where faith converges with action to defy and redefine societal norms. Her story challenges audiences to appreciate the profound impact of faith and courage, irrespective of one's starting point. Throughout the biblical canon, Rahab's story serves as a reminder that faith is often tested in the crucible of action. Her courage, aligned with a clear recognition of divine sovereignty, prompted her inclusion in the genealogy of Jesus as recorded in the Gospel of Matthew. This remarkable inclusion underscores a profound theological truth. God's redemptive plan transcends human limitations and societal norms. The story of Rahab invites us to contemplate the dynamics of faith and redemption, illustrating how an individual's transformation can impact the course of history. Her decision to ally with the Israelite spies was a decision that spoke volumes of her belief in the power and promise of the God of Israel. Through her actions, Rahab became an unlikely heroine, a Canaanite woman whose faith bridged ethnic and cultural divides to forge a path toward salvation. The inclusion of Rahab in Matthew's genealogy is not merely a historical footnote, but a deliberate choice that highlights the breadth of God's plan. It serves as a reminder that the kingdom of God is expansive, welcoming those who, like Rahab, demonstrate faith that defies past limitations. This genealogical mention is a powerful statement of inclusivity and grace, celebrating the potential for salvation to reach beyond traditional boundaries. Rahab's story is an archetype of redemption, illustrating that faith's transformative power is not hindered by past life choices. Rahab's narrative continues to be a beacon of hope and inspiration, encouraging us to look beyond appearances and societal labels to discern the potential for profound change inherent in a life of faith. Her story is a testament to the belief that no past is so far gone that it cannot be redeemed by the transformative power of belief and action. In her journey from a city doomed for destruction to a place in the lineage of Christ, Rahab exemplifies the hope and reality of redemption available to all. In conclusion, Rahab's faith and courage transformed not only her destiny, but also altered the course of history, inviting us to reflect on the timeless power of faith to transcend boundaries and redefine futures. Join us in exploring more such captivating stories from the Scriptures, and let us continue this journey of faith together. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more deep dives into the rich tapestry of biblical history.